see. So should we put it on Spotify for lyrics? Let's just go ahead and let's see.
Does it even have the lyrics? That's the question.
I'm hoping because they're big bands that it would, but so we got 2 albums tonight. We got Whitechapel and Spiritbox. I just happened to pick a good day for this, I guess. I did really want to review the Architects bullshit from last week, so I could probably shit on it, but wasn't quite ready yet. So, oh well.
I heard like 2 of the singles. I thought they were all right.
I heard like clips of it. I didn't hear the whole everything though.
It's still very much that, but it's got like they got like lows in there now and like random like double bass. Like it's kind of there.
All right, let's see if this shit has lyrics.
Supposedly one of the songs on here is like all the lyrics is like references to the old songs. So
Let's
I hope
see.
so. Can't remember which one it was.
It looks like some of them have the lyrics. So. All right, so
I'll just pull the lyrics up over.
Have to see again. We're gonna have to see how the audio is. I might have to fuck with it like while we're Whitechapel. Prisoner 666 to let you know they're still heavy. And Satan and all that, Check. Okay. I think I need to turn it up more. Probably right about there. How's that? Chat, how does that sound? I think Jordan needs to get a stabilizer too. Camera's flapping in the wind.
I bear the number 666.
A little classic. Whitechapel keeping it 100. I feel it's a little. I'm not 100% on the production. That could be my audio though.
Yeah, it is a little weird.
It's a little.
It doesn't feel wide. It's kind of like. Got the manual trap hat.
Still pretty riffy. Very, a lot of death metal influence. Michael Tingley says, how you been, Jordan?
All right. Have to go back to working 40 hours a week again, so.
Hell yeah.
Got a promotion. Bunch of drama at work.
I'll stop back in later if you guys are still going. Probably about an hour and a half. Hour 45-ish left to go. hour 45-ish. But thanks for dropping in. I couldn't find my notebook, so I'm writing on 2 blank envelopes. Goddamn. You can't say goddamn unless it's into a 2-step. That's like the best. There's like a few bands that have done like a goddamn call out and it's into a 2-step. It's like one of my favorites. You go, goddamn. I think Attila did it. And Periphery. What is he doing?
The Goldarda?
I don't have the lyrics, so I don't know if he's. I think it sounds like he's doing Latin.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
All right, now I can pull up some lyrics here. I wonder if that's like a feature or just a bunch of layers, because it's definitely like there was like 2 vocals right there. Do we still talk to Raimi? No, he deleted his social media, so no one has heard from him. We are the disease that. Oh, this is the one you're talking about. These are. Yeah. That's all he said. Exalt and True wants a band. Welcome in.
Possession.
Some of these lyrics. They did not censor themselves. He hadn't gotten there yet. I read ahead. Canceled. It's like they're like, oh no, we're deathcore from 2008 for sure. I wonder what Whitechapel shows look like these days.
We know what the Ghost Inside shows look like now.
We've come to devour the eyes of
I like that one was very it was like change in tempo. Like that one was like super fast. The first one was like kind of mid tempo. Let me see if I can get the chat on the screen for y'all, because I forgot I used to have that. Let's see. Is it media source? Browser source? I can't remember. This browser source chat. Is the band's whole theme being anti-Christian like all their songs? I mean, I guess they've had like that kind of like it's kind of just deathcore, you know, tropes. Really, you know, they all kind of have a little bit of that. You know.
Demons and
yeah, yeah. So, like, in a way, yeah, but it's not. I don't think it's our like focus. That's just the genre, really.
death metal lyrics.
Yeah. My bad.
I'm bright like a star.
What the hell? Sorry, I don't know what that was. And then this one's kind of more of a, like, almost like more of a melodic kind of song, in a way.
Let them all
I will say, Jordan and chat, the one thing I did miss the most is keeping up with new music. Like, I've been seeing like people talk about bands and shit, and I'm like, I don't even know.
I've been trying to keep up.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to get. That's why I was ready to get back to streaming. I was like, I never, because most of the time I only like listen to new stuff if I was streaming it, and so. Yeah, got some lyrics now again. I didn't grab my monster. Let me grab my monster. I'm listening still. Fucking Jeff said way too behind on new music, just keeping up with Spiritbox. 2 new Imminent songs were great though. Yeah, I saw they put out an album today, but it's just like a deluxe. I hate deluxe albums. Just put out like an EP or something. But I do need to check it out. Bring those chat messages up a little bit bigger. I can see it. See, is that a feature too? Like, that doesn't sound like Phil. Isaiah Ramirez, welcome in. Missed you too. That little bass drop is weird. Whatever that is they're doing, I didn't like that. That it wasn't like. I think it has to do with the mix. It's a very like trebly. There's not a lot of low end. I don't know if it's just me. But that was a good track, though. Got an interlude. Bonus points for that. Write that down. Interlude. It was one of my favorite things about what Whitechapel album was that? Was it Somatic Defilement? No, it was This Is Exile. They have an instrumental track on that. It's like really fucking good, like melodic. A lot like Depths from Oceano. I'm sorry for getting up again. I need to turn my AC on. I'm fucking hot. My vent is closed, that's why. Alright, should be better. Next song is my favorite thus far, Very Evil. Hate Cult Ritual. No lyrics. I don't know how about y'all on y'all screens. You know, it's probably a little too small, but I have the chat up here because I stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time, so you should be able to read each other's chat messages. You know, some people may not, but I'm doing my best, okay? Again, another really fast song. They kind of change it up. It was like slow, or not slow. It was like mid-tempo, then a fast song, then the melodic one that was kind of more mid-tempo, then the interlude, and then this one just blast beats again. No two steps though. There's not many two steps. Points deducted for that. That one doesn't count. That's not two steps. Shout out to This Is Exile on Rock Band. That was like one of my favorite things to do back in the MySpace days. We'd get drunk and play Whitechapel on Rock Band with vocals and everything. Fun times.
HM2.
And then another, see, then they changed the tempo again. You got a sludgy one. Very riffy. I appreciate them for doing riffs. It's very death metal. Like that contrast of that sludgy chug with the really fast, you know? He still has a very distinguishable voice. I feel like that kind of mid is a little bit newer though.
Yeah.
Something real quick. Sorry, y'all. I'm just pulling up some background stuff. No breakdown. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it kind of like started with a breakdown, if you want to kind of like consider that. Kind of reversed it a little bit. I would say this is in my top of like 3 tracks. I could have used a breakdown, another breakdown at the end though. But I liked a lot of the way they structured that.
And then they just start with a breakdown.
Yeah. The interesting little. It's got a little bit of that like gent staccato, you know.
It was a little different.
It's still very kind of genty a little bit.
Yeah, it feels more like a metalcore.
Yeah. Oh. Little side to side. Little side to side.
One album you should probably go back and listen to is With Blood Comes Cleansing.
Oh yeah.
That album was. There's a song with Kyle from Body Snatcher on there.
Mini breakdown there. Yeah, that was probably, I'd put that in my top as well. That was a really cool one. Very riffy, genty, groovy, you know. Mammoth God. It's just so, it's weird because, you know, the past two albums, they've been kind of like completely different, you know? So it's weird hearing them sound like this again, to be honest. Not that I hated that kind of stuff, you know. It wasn't really for me still, but I'm also a little nostalgic and I'm, you know, fan since 2007. I think I might still have that poster. I don't know. Only a few of my posters made it out. That one I had of the fucking Whitechapel Impending Doom Beneath the Sky poster. I don't know if that made it out of the fire or not. It sucks we still don't have the lyrics for a few songs. But I mean,
pulled the lyric up on the side.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I don't want to be that guy, but I mean, it's deathcore, so it's gonna be deathcore lyrics. Lots of big words and. check. Hello. Sorry, I'm setting up a noise gate. Like I said, I don't have any audio filters. Just a little something to help with some of the taps I make. Oh, slow two-step.
Album's making me want to chuck a Bud Light.
Yeah, it's a little. They've had the, it's the saw's the law. They got a little bit of that Southern Tennessee.
I remember buying that CD. I bought that CD. Hot Topic.
That was good. I like that era too.
Remember when Hot Topic actually sold music?
Yeah.
I bought so many vinyl from there, so many CDs. I bought that Chelsea Grin. Remember they had that EP with like the singing.
Yeah.
What was that, Lilith? Yeah, I bought that from there.
Not the solos. Like I said, very death metal-y. They really put the death metal on this. That's like an Unearth riff.
This solo is interesting though, because not all the other solos were kind of like lower in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
This one's kind of
they were kind of like background, yeah.
I like that one. Alright, last song.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Sounds like it's gonna be a dirty one. How do I get back to the album? Yeah. Maybe a little bit of an outro. Jesus Christ. God damn, it was like a minute of like different breakdowns and shit.
These lyrics are fucked.
I can kind of hear it. Yeah, first stream back in a while. Yes, sorry, I was stepped away. It's probably been about 6 months or so. I don't even know at this point. I posted a video on my YouTube. I was supposed to come back a couple months ago, but I had a house fire. I lost my house and everything, so that's why this is new. All my settings and everything. This is all like just set it up within like 10 minutes. So we're probably not like super professional. Yeah, everyone in my family is okay. We did lose one of our cats, sadly, but we made it out in time. Woke up to fire. Yeah, I posted a video on YouTube like 2 days ago, just like kind of talking about it, because I was gonna come back a couple months ago, and then literally like that week. Rough time. Not to be a downer. But yeah, so we got a little bit of a, like I expected it, outro. Yeah, it was a nightmare. I mean, like it's weird losing like everything, you know? We like moved into a house with like bags of clothes. That was it. But we're working our way back. I appreciate you coming in. It's good seeing you. Yeah, it's been a while. But we definitely plan on making weekly reviews and things. Huh?
What was the last thing reviewed?
Oceano, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because my titles were like still logged in on my Streamlabs. And it was Oceano. That was what, like October or something? I don't even remember. Goddamn. But yeah, we plan on making the album streams a weekly thing again. I do also plan to start maybe doing some like gaming streams and stuff like that during the week. Maybe like 1 or 2 or something like that. I haven't decided when or like what kind. Maybe some probably like some retro gaming and shit like that. But yeah, appreciate you stopping in, Josh. Good seeing you. All right, so that is the end of the album. We finished it. Let's go ahead and jump into this review portion. So we can get on to the next one, since we, took forever to start up review. Let me see if this works. Yep, check, yep. Okay. All right. Sorry, I have like a touch there's on the bottom here. It's really annoying. There's a mute, but it's like touch sensitive. So like sometimes when I move, I mute it and I don't mean to. So if I ever seem like I'm talking and it looks like I'm trying to talk and you can't hear me, let me know. All right, my picture's a little fuzzy because internet little lag. Can you fix for me, please?
There we go.
I would not like this image to be the start of the video. People are gonna be like, "What the fuck is he recording on?" Come on. Also, some of my stream settings are bad. I have like really low bit rate right now. I didn't realize it, but I can't change it in the middle of a stream. So, all right, okay, here we go. Let me hit start recording. All right, so we just finished listening to the new Whitechapel album. I already forgot the name of it. Hymns in Dissonance. Okay. So now we're going to talk about it a little bit, give you our thoughts and ratings with my co-host Jordan over here. I don't even remember what my what my intro was. But anyways, so now we're going to talk about it. But anyways, yes. This was pretty good. I didn't know. I mean, I'd already heard that it was going to be heavy. I hadn't listened to any of the singles or anything. Um, their past couple albums were a little bit. I wouldn't say a little bit. I'd say a lot softer, or at least like the last one specifically was. Lots of like clean singing and all that kind of stuff. Not really a bad thing. I just didn't. I wasn't super into it. Because I've been a fan of Whitechapel for so long. It was just like such a huge departure. But hey, I appreciate him for branching out. Um, and this is kind of a, I guess you'd call it a return to form. Is the word they use for that. This is very much old school Whitechapel. It's kind of like in between. I would say in between like This Is Exile and like Saw Is the Law. It's like a mixture of those two. Probably leaning a little bit more towards like Saw Is the Law. But it's still got a lot of that. A lot of that old school deathcore in it. But I want to say it's kind of tropey, but I don't mean it in like a bad way. I think it's kind of what some deathcore like needs right now. Like it's not MySpace, deathcore. It's not like that. It's not that throwback. It's very death metal focused, which you don't get a lot in modern deathcore. You get either like the symphonic shit, which is not really I don't really consider that like death metal focused at all. And then you have the old school like throwback like tracheotomy type shit. Um, and that's not really death metal focused either. It's very leads into the more like hardcore kind of stuff. But this has like lots of like riffs and like solos and all that kind of stuff. It felt very death metal focused, but still had a lot of the core stuff in there. It didn't have any like I don't think there was really any two steps. That's no one gives a fuck about two steps. I do, so I'm gonna bring it up. I didn't get it. There was like one like slow end, kind of at the end there. I don't remember what song it was, but still plenty of breakdowns. I'd say their breakdowns were very broad. They had some that were like very sludgy. There was a couple on here. I think it was the one on Abysmal Gospel. I wrote that one down. I think it was that one. They had one that had like this really interesting kind of like beat on it. That I liked a lot. So that one was really cool. Let's see. I wrote all this down. I haven't even looked at it yet. So let's see. I think one of the things I did like about this album was that it wasn't they kind of changed the tempo up every track. It wasn't just blazing fast the whole time. There wasn't too much sludge or anything, but there was they would alternate kind of like there was I think the first one was like very kind of mid tempo, then it went into like a very blast beat, high paced, fast song. Third one was like kind of melodic. Then there was an interlude. Back to a fast one. So there's a lot of range here that I really appreciate as well. Another thing you don't really see a lot in modern deathcore, so I appreciate them for that. Lyricism here is definitely sticking to the death metal and old school deathcore lyrics. Some of it is very tropey. Again, demons and bloodshed and all that. But like, there's one where he's like talking about masturbating and shit. Like, it's like yeah, damn. Okay, they a lot of people don't have the balls to do those kinds of lyrics these days. So again, props to them for that. Let's see. Mix wise, I thought the mix was okay. I wasn't super big fan of it. I think it was very trebly. There wasn't a lot of low end, and what low end was there was kind of muddy. Could be stylistic choice possibly, because I feel like they've always kind of had a little bit of that sound, but I just didn't get a lot of like actual like a boom from the bass. And so like some parts when it was just like very bass heavy, it was a little overkill. Yeah, like it was just like very kind of staticky, and I didn't really like that too much. But other than like that part of the production. I think the rest of the production was really good. Lots of like really cool layers, vocal layers. I don't know if like there were parts where I wasn't sure if there was a vocal fucking feature or if it was just like layers of fill. I don't know. But it was really cool the way they did that. And they did that with the guitars as well. There was like different I think it was Bedlam, Bedlam. I wrote that one down. That one had like maybe it was Mammoth God. I don't know. I wrote both of those down. I think Mammoth God had like the very like had like a solo, right? And then it also had the very like maybe it was a different song. I don't fucking know. But it had kind of like it had very fast like uh blast beat intro, but you also had like these like two like soaring guitars like pan like competing with each other, and then in the background was like this really slow like really chuggy. I really liked that. I think it was Mammoth God. I think I don't remember. I have a little tiny notes, very barely even legible. Sorry, it's my first time reviewing in like 6 months. Give me a break. But yeah, top tracks for me. I'll give you my top three because these were like just the three that stood out to me. Was Mammoth God. I liked that one a lot. Had the very like I just explained, and then it had a really cool solo in it. I really liked the solo in that one. Um, it was very like was that the one that was like very metalcore kind of solo? I think that
Yeah.
I think that was that one. Bedlam was probably my favorite track on here because it was very, it felt very gent inspired, a little Meshuggah-y. Like it was very kind of like just the staccato of like the way the guitar was going. It didn't have that, down down really, but it kind of did later, like during the breakdown part. So I thought that was really cool. Having that kind of metalcore feel in there as well. And Abysmal Gospel. I like that one a lot as well. That one uh also changed up like tempos and like like it led you to believe it was going to be like a slower song and then like built up really fast. Just some really interesting stuff that they had in here. And overall, yeah, Phil sounds like Phil. So it's really interesting hearing this kind of deathcore and hearing Phil, and he's kind of like the standard for deathcore vocalist, but anytime you hear him, you know it's him. Uh, Especially the lows. It's just the way he does his like lows. He does some also interesting mids in here that I feel like were a little bit newer. Um, and then his highs. The highs are kind of more kind of standard deathcore highs, but the lows are like that's Phil. But yeah, overall, I mean, like I said, return to form. I thought it was good. Um, Not overly standout, but really good listen. I think that's the best way to kind of describe it. It wasn't, I don't really have any negatives. I don't think other than that, the little bit of treble, too much treble. That's really it. So yeah, overall, really good. Jordan, what'd you think?
I thought that was really good. Um, I think there was two singles. I heard those, and I was kind of like, I liked them a lot, but I was kind of just like waiting to hear the album, and I think it really paid off. It seems a little bit longer than I thought it would be. Like, there's a lot of like kind of longer songs. I think the first two songs are kind of long, and then the last one is kind of long. So I definitely appreciate that it wasn't just the two singles and then like a couple other songs. I actually like waited to put everything out, all at once. So uh, I think doing that really showcases, all the different kinds of songs because the first two singles, they did kinda seem kind of, like, similar, and it was like, "Okay, well, if the whole album is gonna be like this, it's gonna be kind of just okay," but they really, broke it up and, had a lot of different song changes, a lot of different tempos, like, even within the songs and stuff, so, they really kept it fresh and kept it going. Um, I think the first song was, pretty good intro. It just kinda had, like, a little bit of, like, a, kinda standard intro kinda thing, where it kinda fades in, but I think the song was pretty strong itself. There was a part where the drummer is doing kind of like a little trap hi-hat kind of thing, where it kind of added a little bit of that, but it was kind of like you could tell it was kind of like with the drums. So I thought that was really cool. Uh, Favorite songs, I'll probably go more into detail with those. Visceral Wretch, I think that was the first one that they put out. I thought that one was really cool. Um, he does a lot of like really cool like vocal kind of effects in that song. There's a part where the guitar kind of like does a like a and then they do like the where it goes like down in pitch, like the little like whammy. But like whenever the guitars go down, he kind of does like the vocal with it where he kind of pitches it down, and so it's kind of like flows with it. I thought that was really cool. That one of course has like some of that like, classic Whitechapel feel, so that one was pretty good. I think Bedlam was my probably first favorite or second favorite. That one was really cool. That one was like the more kind of like metalcore sounding one. Um, not a lot of change ups and stuff like that in deathcore, where they kind of like go a little bit not softer, but like they just kind of go into like a little bit of a different genre, which I think a lot of bands could probably do, because a lot of bands they just like find that one sound and then like every song on the album pretty much just sounds the same. So I thought that was kind of cool. Mammoth God was also really cool. That one had the like, I think that was the one that had in the intro with like that really like nasty sludgy guitar. They have the HM2 pedal on there, that classic death metal sound. I thought that was just kind of like interesting that they use that kind of guitar tone with like, like modern production. It really adds that like really nastiness, like I think Knock Loose does that a lot where they just add that like extra like grindy kind of like nasty sludge on top of it for some of the riffs. So I thought that was cool that they, started it with that kind of like tone in the intro where it was kind of like I think it was like either panned like on both sides, or maybe it was soloed in the middle, and then whenever it got to like the actual riff, it was real like thick and nasty sounding. So I thought that was really cool. And then the last song was also really awesome. It ends with that like really melodic solo, which I think was really needed.
I meant to bring that up. That I forgot to mention that little outro thing. Classic, another classic Whitechapel thing. They always had a lot of uh instrumentals. One of the things I appreciated about them. So sorry.
Yeah, and it was kind of a cool contrast with that song because that song was very dark, like especially if you would read the lyrics, like
Oh
those
yeah,
lyrics
and
are
it started like with
fucked
that was
up.
the one that started like very like it had like a whole like minute of like different breakdowns in it too. That's that same
Yeah,
song. So
yeah, and then it ends with like the really like melodic soaring guitar. So I was like, I thought that was really cool, a way to end it off. Um, so overall, I thought, a lot of different things, a lot of different genre changes, tempo changes, keeping it fresh. So, but still having that like old school Whitechapel sound, and then like the modern production, which I think is a really cool kind of like cohesive product. One negative I think was the mix. The mix was kind of like it was, like, very kinda, like, compressed sounding and, like, very, like, trebly, like, there wasn't a lot of bass, but, like, the mix kinda felt, like, kinda claustrophobic, like, they didn't really use, like, 100% of the panning, like, it was very more, like, a little bit more centered, which I thought was kind of interesting just because like, the guitars are really loud and then the drums are like kind of like mid volume a little bit, and then like the cymbals are kind of like a little bit lower. Um, and then the vocals are like really, really loud. So it's kind of like a weird like mix, and you can't really hear the bass. I didn't really hear bass guitar at all. It's just all kind of like one big like very compressed sound. Like you could tell like they cut a lot of like that like really low end, probably because it's like super low tune. So if it had a lot of that low end, it probably would have been like a little muddy. But I think they could have like opened it up a little bit. Add like some kind of like stereo widener or something to kind of like add more space. I think that would have like helped it a lot. Um, Kind of add some airiness to the mix, but I can see why they kind of went for like a more like claustrophobic kind of sounding, I guess, like scary sounding record. Um, but but not everything can sound, like modern super clear production. I think everything would sound bad if everything sounded the same. So it there's pros and cons to it.
All right. What would you rate this then?
Mm, I don't know. I I'll give it a 9. That's a really strong 9. Like, I don't think they did anything, like, super, super crazy. Like, there was a couple, like, breakdowns and, like, the solos were kinda nice, especially that last one, but, like, the really melodic part, but, everything else is, like, really, really, really good.
Hmm. Yeah, I was on there borderline between a probably like an 8 or 9. But I agree. I'll give it a 9 as well. Um, no real negatives other than the production. So like a good chunk of it was standard you know Whitechapel deathcore, very very Whitechapel. But still also had like some standout tracks that were like really good, really interesting songwriting, and every track was kind of varied. So I think overall this was like really good. Um, for Whitechapel, like I said, complete change back from the different stuff they were doing. So it's really cool seeing that they've still got some range. And I think the big focus for me was even though I'm not I like deathcore. I'm a core kid at heart. Anything with the core connotation is what I listen to. I don't listen to death metal at all, but I appreciate the amount of like death metal that they infused in this. They really kind of focused on that. They just also had like some breakdowns and shit. So I thought this was really cool. So 9 out of 10 for me, 9 out of 10 for Jordan. Great job to Whitechapel. Yeah. All right. Cool beans.
Surprised there was no, like, choir or anything.
Yeah. They're like, no, we had enough of that shit. All right. All right, let's jump into next one. Let's blast through this shit. Spiritbox, y'all
Spiritbox.
ready? So this is actually their first album since Eternal Blue, like full length album. They just
And
had
I
like the
haven't
EPs and
listened to
singles.
any of these songs, I don't
I
think.
haven't either. I've heard like I think saw like a TikTok of like a clip of one. I haven't so completely fresh on this. Haven't done any reactions. So yeah. Here we go. Tsunami Sea. Let me get my
Oh.
Of course, you got the.
See, now if Whitechapel had this production, I would have found it. Like,
Yeah. Well, but by the way, there's something to keep in mind. I don't know if you saw the quote. Apparently, Courtney did an interview the other day and said that she thinks a lot of people are tired of the super tight, crisp production that a lot of bands have. So she's leaning towards that old school.
Oh fuck! I forgot the lyrics.
see. I'll pull them up too. They got an ad block on this bitch. I mean, they're starting off with like, you know, straight up like metalcore. And there's the proggy. Now, Eternal Blue made me cry, so I have a high standard for Spiritbox.
Very Capstone.
I'll say this first track is very old school Spiritbox. Like, this sounds a lot like, you know, the Mara Effect style.
I never listened to any of that,
It was when they were very, like, you know, Tesseract focused sound.
I think the earliest I've heard is like Blessed Be.
My favorite track, Blessed Be. Such a good song. Here's where they put in a little bit of that new metal mixture that they get from the recent stuff. That tone, goddamn. Oh, sorry. I was talking to Tana. I think I missed some of the lyrics here. No, we're right here. We're good. So many fucking ads on this website. It's insane. Is that? It sounds like. Are there? Why does that remind me of Luigi? Oh, missing child. The Amber Alert.
Yeah.
Oh, oh. Yeah, they just like. Okay. This is gonna be one of the more pop. I assume this is gonna be like one of the more pop focused ones because they haven't had really any like It's been like straight up metalcore the past 2 songs.
Ebb and flow.
So cover up the
It's a throwback to they said it on their last album.
I was wondering because the album's called Non-UC and they had a journal blue, like water.
Haven't heard this one yet. It's got like 2.4 million on YouTube in 3 months it's been up. No, I haven't heard any of this.
God.
That's a lot. No, I haven't heard any of the singles. I normally avoid singles unless I'm doing a reaction, and obviously I haven't been doing. So I just have been.
I usually listen to like a single or 2, but I purposely didn't listen to any of it.
Like a little melodic breakdown.
Oh,
This is kind of very Eternal Blue. Like it reminds me of like the actual like Eternal Blue track. Little trap hi-hat in there.
Got like stub bass in the background. Wow.
We'll change up in the tempo on this one. A little bit of a 2-step. Really nice harmonies. The layering of all that.
My dreams are just a fantasy, and that is all they'll ever be. I turn the lights out on 1,000 eyes, all watching, waiting.
Honestly, that last one kind of sounded like an outro track. It would have been a good like ending track.
Hungry eyes, and the red shone to me when I walk alone. But falling little pieces high.
So I think this is the first actual like poppy kind of part. The last song was still had like a lot of the guitar behind all of it. Aside from the like the trap hi-hats at the end, I'm talking like verses. But it still picks up into like this heavy part in the same chorus or same verse. That's interesting.
So suddenly it feels like I woke from a dream, and everything that happened to me was a talisman I threw like a stone. You constantly infantilize, passionless and passive life, entitlement just to pour out every scene. 'Cause I were little pieces of my heart when you need them. I wanna tear it out now when it's beating. I wanna watch it bleed out with a feeling. So I keep sweet, to keep safe, temperate in a heat wave. I wanna tear it out now when it's beating. I wanna watch it bleed out with a feeling.
I really like the work of like the cymbals in the back. They're like, it's like the cymbal, the splashes are like very like background noise. They're not like over, they're not really high up in the mix, but they give it a nice like padding. Third chorus, but it's mixed with like a solo. Off Spine. I believe this was one of their singles. I still haven't heard it. A little bit of a. What does that guitar remind me of? It reminds me of something.
Limp Bizkit,
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
literally.
Honestly, that tone kind of sounds like a Westmoreland kind of tone.
got a tsunami in the chat. Oh.
A little bit of a Josh Travis in that. Oh, it's like a slowed down chorus. A little bit of the ocean sound. Oh, it's the title track, Tsunami Sea. There you go.
The low end of the mix is so good.
I really like that melody on the guitar. Really good lyrics. Very emotional. Oh, that's very Periphery-esque riff right there. Kind of a little bit of volumes too. Like a melodic volumes track. It's interesting. It really kind of makes it feel like, you know, like the EPs and stuff that they put out were really kind of more experimental than this, because this is still very. I still think it's very Eternal Blue, you know, style Spiritbox. It doesn't really. Honestly, I still personally feel like there's less pop in this, because Eternal Blue had a lot of the, you know, like Billie Eilish like style, like pop, like beats in it.
Yeah.
Like, it was still very heavy. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's a 10 out of 10 album. I'm just saying this is very more guitar focused consistently. There's only been like one track that was really had a pop kind of focus on it. Like, this is very Tesseract. That clean picking in the back, very Tesseract.
Very Tesseract tempo.
And it starts with the chorus too, apparently. I mean, that's according to this. Like, if you go and listen to, like, you know, Altered State, like, that's, you know, I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh, her singing, that's very poppy. Like, no, that's just like prog.
Yeah.
It's not. True wants a band. Goddamn, what the fuck is that? Oh, that transition right there. God damn. tracks though. It's probably my favorite one so far. That was really good. It's still got that ocean sound too, by the way. Notice that. And sorry to break up the little bit of this build we got going on here. I just wanted to pull up. Oh, I don't have my fucking. I'm not logged in here. I'm gonna pull up Mara Effect. This is old Spiritbox. This is literally 7 years ago. Okay. Or a lot of this was like when they were very like, you know, only the prog nerds knew who they were, you know.
At Texas Health, we deliver
Sorry.
more babies than
Sorry.
any other.
Sorry for that. The ads. I'm not logged in. I normally don't have ads, but I'm not logged in because I just downloaded this browser before stream. But look, this is. This was 7 years ago. It sounds like old Spiritbox. This is not like, for anyone that's like not familiar, if you go back, this is. So really interesting seeing how much more this sounds like old Spiritbox than probably anything else they've put out. They said in interviews they slowed down waves and used them as risers. The waves are a theme throughout. Yeah. That's prog. That's prog for you. I mean, really felt like this album, they got a little more post-hardcore at times. Ride the Wave and Keep Sweet, give me that. Yeah, there's definitely some of that.
Great.
Yeah, lots of bass in this. Lots of little bass solo tracks.
I was born in an estuary destined to the sea. I was surrounded by pearls that I could not eat and diamonds that I could not drink. In a bleached cavern of bones, I reached my destination.
It's really interesting.
An island of solace beneath a corpse's feet. I can feel something sinister under the surface.
Very 90s. A little bit of that EP
Island that breathes
in this.
body that eats.
Crystal Roses. This is gonna be a softer one, maybe. Drum and bass sounds of electronic dance music. Interesting.
Destination is a meadow. Silent saints in the dark.
So she mentioned garage and new wave.
Okay, so this is the song she was talking about on Twitter the other day.
Yeah.
where
Experimental song we've always wanted to make.
apparently the label like put it out without their permission.
I think I saw something about that on Twitter, yeah. I would have put this, I probably would have put this in the middle of the album. Would have served as kind of like an interlude. Would have been really interesting, but that's just me.
Song sounds like Kingdom Hearts.
Right. They kind of keep that EDM beat though, with the actual instruments.
Now, see, I love that vocal effect because it's just straight up 2000s.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me. It definitely sounded like EDM vocals, but also a little bit of what is that fucking? I don't know why I can't think of the genre name. 1,000 Gex. What are they called again?
Hyperpop.
Yeah. It was like a little. It had like a little tinge of that. True Wants a Band was not a fan of the vocal effect. Right, more references to messages in a bottle. Just said that in the last song.
They really like the colors.
Interesting. I don't know about two soft songs in a row. It's a little bit of a dip. Not that it's bad. It's just like with the rest of the album, the way it flows is more of what I'm talking about.
I try
I'm so fucking hungry. I was napping before stream, so I haven't eaten in a fucking while. I'm very excited to make some food after this. And drinking a Monster on an empty stomach does not help. It makes me more hungry. I'm like, ugh. Nice little devolution. Really interesting. Throwing that in there. I'm curious what the last track is gonna be. I don't know. So far, I don't know. I don't think I would put this above Eternal Blue. Again, because I just have a very like Constance and Eternal Blue, the song, were extremely like powerful fucking tracks. And inspired by 28 Days Later instrumentally, I can see the theme song of 28 Days Later is that kind of instrumental guitar. If you're familiar with the movie. All right, Deep In, here we go. Tribute to former Spiritbox band member Bill Crook, who passed away in 2024. Wow.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember hearing about that either, but do you think it's above Eternal Blue? I mean, it's still really good. Like I said, I just have a high, once I have an album that's like a 10 out of 10, it's like,
You're an island with a
That it has a bit. This little bridge has a very islandy feel to it. And they have these really interesting like pickups. They build it up like it feels like it's gonna be a two-step, and then they retract it.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah. All right.
okay, I don't know if I should say it for the review or not. Okay, just go.
All right. All right. Here we're gonna jump into this. Review. Here we go. Record button. All right. So we just listened to the new Spiritbox album, second full-length album that they've had, entitled Tsunami Sea. So now we're going to talk about it a little bit, give you my thoughts. We'll go over to my co-host Jordan and come back around and give you our ratings for a final review. So, big fan of Spiritbox. I got into them. It was around Blessed Be was when they first put out that track. Was still my favorite Spiritbox track. And then I had heard about them about Mara Effect back in the day. But I just hadn't heard it until I really started getting into them. And the thing I find most interesting about this is I feel like this album compared to Eternal Blue and the EP that they put out and all and that this feels closest to original Spiritbox in my opinion. Very much Mara Effect. It's very very progressive like metalcore, very Tesseract, little bit of Volumes too. Reminds me a lot, so much of that, more than more than Eternal Blue. So I think it's really cool to see this kind of more of a throwback, which I feel like a lot of the newer fans probably, I don't even know if they've really gone and listened to Mara Effect, but so it's really interesting to see that because I feel like a lot of people may not pick up on that. But it's really interesting because I feel like there's less pop influences in this, which I haven't seen anybody really talk about or mention. Because a lot of this is like straight up like progressive metalcore. Like the first two tracks are like just like straight up standard metalcore. Like they're heavy, fast. There's not a lot of clean singing. They don't really use a lot of the pop beats and stuff from like Eternal Blue. I think Eternal Blue had a lot of it, but the thing I liked about Eternal Blue was that while they had those things, they still every single song would still go back into the heavy. Like they would still remind you, like, hey, we're doing this, but we also still have this. So it was a really nice, like, kind of blend. And this kind of is more a lot like more straight up progressive metalcore to me. There's only a couple tracks on here who really use that kind of pop influence. So I'm curious to see how other like newer fans or the people that kind of shun them for being, modern metalcore and all that, like tying them in with like Bad Omens. I see that like comparison a lot. And like, this is like, no, like I want to know what they think of this because this is like basically just progressive metalcore, like straight up. Aside from the last few tracks, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm just gonna be honest. I love Spiritbox. I love Courtney, they've been huge for my channel and everything. I don't know. I don't think this is like Eternal Blue is just like that album's made me cry like multiple times. This one has
Yeah.
some really like powerful moments in it, too, but just not. Those are like very more personal, in Eternal Blue, and this is like it's still close. I think this is still really close. It's great music. I really love the progressive feel to it, especially with like the tie-in of like the whole ocean theme. You have the ocean like flowing in and out through the different songs, all the references. Again, that's a prog thing as well. So again, that's kind of a part of that. But I still think Eternal Blue for me is just it's the gold standard. But a lot of this like really touches it. It is real. This is still really good. I only have like a couple of gripes, and they're not like really any gripes. It's just that it's more of the for me it's the layout of the album, because the last three songs are like the softest, and so it kind of it, I really don't want to be negative, but it kind of like lulls out a little bit, because you've got the EDM like kind of focus track, and then you've got the one after that that's it's another soft one, but it does have like a really heavy breakdown in it, which is really cool. Kind of again a really cool kind of clash that they have. It's a really soft song, and then it's just like bam, and then it brings it back up, and then the last track. Is like completely like a soft track. I don't think there was really, much of a like a breakdown or anything. Not that you have to, I don't want to have to say it, you don't have to end in a breakdown. I'm just saying that those three tracks like back to back, it kind of lulled compared to the rest of the album, because the rest of the album has so much like riffing and all that pacing. I feel like if they just would have moved some of the tracks around, like that EDM track, put that a little bit earlier in the album, put it like or maybe like right in the middle, and then maybe switch the last two that soft song, so that you could have that little breakdown at the end to kind of like give you that like you know just that little bit of a pop, because it's just there wasn't a pop and you're really in that last song. That's just me. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel about it. Still great music. I think it's just the way it like kind of lined up and all the order of the tracks just kind of it lulled. I mean, that's the only word I can think of at the end. But again, that's just more pacing than songwriting ability. I think the songs are still great. Everything they did was good. Let's see, what else do I have in here? Production is great. There's lots of low end. There's lots of like bass like solo tracks that they'll cut out. As opposed to like how Eternal Blue would have the pop stuff. In this one, they do more of they'd have more just like guitar breaks. They'd take out the guitar and it would just be kind of like the bass and the drums. But it still had kind of a heavy feeling. Which is also, prog really focuses on that kind of like clean kind of feeling. So kind of throws to that. But the production is really strong. I like that the cymbal work, a lot of the cymbal work, you could argue that the cymbal work could be a little bit higher up in the mix, a little bit louder to give it more of a pop, but also I think it's kind of a stylistic choice with the whole like ocean thing, because it kind of get the way the cymbals are very soft, it kind of gives it like a bedding, and I kind of feel like it kind of alludes to like an ocean kind of feel. So I can kind of see where they're going with that. Let's see, Keep Sweet, that one was really good. That one was the first one on the album that had like the very kind of poppy kind of section in it. One of the only songs. I still think there was only like two songs that really did that, two or three. Let's see. Haven with Two Faces, probably my favorite track on here. Very beautiful. Reminded me a lot of Eternal Blue. That one's the one that had where she did like she kind of had like a sing into a yell into a scream. Just really fucking great bridge. Beautiful bridge right there. Crystal Roses was really interesting because I'm a big EDM fan, so it was really cool to see them kind of do almost an EDM track. They said they were like very influenced by it. So one thing I did notice about that was like when they actually brought in the actual instrumentals, it kept that 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 fast like kind of drum bass, the bass drum kind of beat to it. So it was really interesting hearing the transition from like the electronics into a like a straight up. But again, it wasn't like a heavy track, so that into the last two songs, it was just like I just would have changed the pacing a little bit. That was really my only negative here. Um, so yeah, unfortunately, I don't think it's Eternal Blue, but it's a great. It's like right here. I'm telling you, like it's not, it's not much lower, and I love it. It kind of still feels like part of Eternal Blue, again with Eternal Blue and a sea and the ocean and all that shit. It's kind of it's connected, so I kind of appreciate that. But I think this was overall more heavy than like Eternal Blue, like I should say consistently heavy. It was there was so much riffing, the tone, God, the guitar tone on some of these tracks, he really like brings out that fucking, the fucking the genty ass shit, that people forget that they're they got that prog to them. So I really appreciate him for that. But I mean, it's a great album. It's a great album. I would switch up the some of the ways the songs are, but other than that, I mean, it's great. I thought it was really good. So, Jordan, what did you think?
It's almost a perfect album. Like it's literally like right, like you said, like it's right there. There are some things I like more than Eternal Blue, and then there are some things I like more on that than this. There, it's very much almost on the same level for me. Didn't quite have that punch. Like there's a little bit, a little bit of that emotion in there. But it's more of just like a general emotion, kind of like it wasn't super like specific feeling, like especially compared to something like Constance, where it's like
Yeah,
it's obviously like a very personal song. But this one's just a little bit more broad. Kind of, I guess, to have the theme kind of fit more and be a little bit more cohesive.
more of like a
Um,
vibe, like an emotional vibe than a topical.
yeah, which I do like a little bit more than Eternal Blue, just because a lot of those songs feel kind of like on their own. Um, there's not really too much of a theme to that album, it doesn't feel like, but this one feels more like a cohesive, like singular product, especially with like the waves in between some of the songs and all that stuff. I'll get to that part in a little bit. But I think the first song was great. Like, they just right out the bat, like, they just hit you. They don't really slow it down and have any clean singing until, like, the bridge, like, right before the outro of the song. Like, there's a little bit of, like, a spoken word part that she does, and, like, that's probably the cleanest part of the song. Black Rainbow, that one was also really heavy. Perfect Soul, I didn't really take note of that one too much. Keep Sweet, I think that one was one of my favorites. It was a little bit of a lighter feel, they changed it up from the first 3 songs. I like the tempo with that one. There's a lot of weird kind of like change ups here and there where it kind of feels like it's gonna go into like one kind of part, but then it kind of like goes into like a different part. There's actually a couple songs that are like that. Um, I think was it might have been the Ride the Wave, the second to last or the last song that kinda had that. I thought that was interesting. It just kind of keeps you on your toes and you're kind of like, "Whoa, what was that?" That was kind of like a weird transition. Soft Spine, that one was super heavy. Love that one. I think that one was the first single. I tried not to listen to them, so, that one was a real good surprise. I had seen that everyone was all like, "Oh, they're super heavy," or whatever, but I was just kind of like, I'll keep my frame of reference in mind until I listen to the actual thing. I think that was one of my favorites. Tsunami Sea, as a title track, I think that one was really solid. Definitely not as good of a title track as Eternal Blue. Like that song is just like peak music. Like that solo just makes me cry every time. Like it's so good. Like the
Hmm.
solo over the
Yeah,
breakdown, like peak music right there. But I think number 7, Haven with Two Faces, that's probably my favorite. That one was just super dynamic. There was a lot of like really good low end in that song, like a lot of like really good like sub bass in there in the background that kind of like had everything, kind of like a big kind of, bombastic kind of feeling. No Loss, No Love, that one was just another just kind of shorter, heavy track. I thought that one was pretty solid. Crystal Roses, probably one of my new favorite Spiritbox songs. Like I love early 2000s EDM, so that's just like straight up my alley. Like I said, it sounded like Kingdom Hearts. Like it straight up sounds like, just that kind of thing, which kind of goes together with the theme of like islands and like water and ocean. It kind of, has that. Um, Ride the Wave, I thought that one was really, really good. Definitely could have been the closing track, but I can see why Deep End was picked as the closing track. And then I'll go into that one. Deep End, I thought that was a really good song. But as a closer, I think they could have done a couple things here and there that would have like just made it amazing. Like I had one little note, like at the very end, if they would have just like cut everything out and have like the waves and the ocean and kept that acoustic guitar and like repeat the chorus again and have it end with just like the waves and shit, like that would have just like made that song perfect and it would have fit so well with the theme. It would have like tied everything together. It would have been so good, but they didn't do that. So I was like, like just push it a little bit more and it would have
Hmm.
been like absolute peak right there. Um, but other than that, I thought that one had like the most poppy feeling out of all of them, besides Crystal Roses. Um, but I like the tempo. I like the fast pace of it. It wasn't like a slow soft song. It was like a very energetic soft song. So um, definitely kept the energy up after Ride the Wave kind of slowed it down a little bit right at the end. Um, So, I if they would have just had that little bit at the end, that would have just made it perfect and tied it together for me. But otherwise, I think this is probably, like right under there. Eternal Blue is 10 out of 10. This is like 9.8. Like
Yeah.
it's right there. Like I said at the beginning, I like some things more than Eternal Blue, and I think I like a little bit more of the stuff on Eternal Blue a little bit more. Like a lot, I definitely didn't miss a lot of those like kind of like Billie Eilish kind of like sounding parts, like where it's like very obviously kind of like that thing. Um they kind of more just like overall kind of spread out that kind of stuff here and there. Like there was can't remember which song it was, but there was kind of like where it was like a talking kind of like spoken word kind of like softer part over like a beat. That kind of gave me that feeling a little bit, but they didn't go too far into it. They just kind of kept it in that part, which I think is a little bit more cohesive and added a little bit less of that poppy feeling and kind of added more to like I don't know, kind of more of like a progressive kind of like
Hmm.
just kind of like a weird part in the song, which I think they do that kind of thing a lot better than just doing like the straight up pop. Overall, almost perfect. The mix, amazing. The low end is just so good. Like there's like points where they just have like that pad of like that sub bass, or there was like one song where they kind of had like that 808 kind of like bass in the background with the part like kind of like a little bit of like a hip hop thing, like kind of feeling thing. I thought that was really cool. Like all these little touches I thought were a lot better than the other kind of touches that they sprinkled out throughout Eternal Blue. So I do agree with you. They could have changed the songs around a little bit. Like Ride the Wave and Crystal Rose definitely should have been like up in the list. Just to kind of break it up. Crystal Roses in the middle would have been perfect. Like that's kind of like it feels more like a kind of interlude kind of track. So I thought that would have definitely helped the album a little bit more. But uh, overall, I think it was amazing.
So I'm guessing you're going with a 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 9 out of 10. Like it's right there. Like it just didn't quite have those little touches, but
Mhm.
like overall, it felt more cohesive.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's a 9 out of 10 for me. Eternal Blue is a 10 out of 10, but again, that's just it had those Eternal Blue had those moments that were just like, oh God, and there was at least one of those in here. Like I said, Haven with Two Faces, that was a really good. That transition on the bridge was just so good. But uh and I absolutely love, again, the feeling of the old school. It feels like old school Spirit Box to me. It feels like Mara Effect, and I wonder, what a lot of the newer people, if they've even listened to Mara Effect, because they would be like, wow, this is, there's a lot of a lot. I feel like a lot more prog in here, a lot more prog core um, than in their previous stuff. So it's really interesting to see that. But they still have, little touches of the stuff from the EP, the new metal mix, and then you know. And then some of the other recent stuff that they also did that has that little bit of that EDM. So still, it's really great. I just, Eternal Blue is god tier, and this is like, just below that. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for me for sure. Still really great. And 9 out of 10 for Jordan. So great job, Spirit Box. We love Spirit Box here. Really appreciate them for their music. So yeah, great job. All right. Finished a little late, but again, we're setting up for like the longest time, and a lot of the stuff that I had to set up I can't do without Jordan in here on Discord, so I can like, so it was like a whole fucking thing, but should be a lot more smoother from here on out. We are glad to be back, listening to new songs and stuff with you all and chatting about it. Appreciate y'all for coming in. So yeah, we'll be here next week. I haven't looked. I don't want to look right now. I need to go eat. I don't know what we'll be doing next week, but we will be here. And stay tuned, because I will be doing some other like gaming streams. Not yet. Probably in a couple weeks or something like that. Whenever I get a little more settled in and prepped for that, I need. A, I have nothing on my computer. This is literally like everything you see here I did within 5 minutes of the stream. So yeah, appreciate everybody for coming. True Wants a Band, fucking Jeff, Rogan Josh was here earlier, Chaotic Fantasy, Trendy, a lot of classic names in here. We appreciate y'all for sticking through, and hopefully this year will be a better one for us. So appreciate y'all. And old head Mike signing off, reminding you, never too old for this. And then I something about young ass Jordan. I forget what I've already lost the touch.